Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. When it comes to hospitality in Sevier County and the Great Smoky Mountains, folks, these are the guys to turn to. Parkside Cabin Rentals has just, and I'm not exaggerating, dozens of layouts, floor plans for you to choose from. You go to their website, you can see them. And then you find out where they are, and you look at all the amenities that they have, and let me tell you, they're all loaded with great amenities. But if you need a place for just solitude, they got it. If you need a place for 20 people in a meeting, they've got it. You want to be with some friends in a cabin next to you, they got it. You want to be just completely secluded, they got that too. They've even got a new spot that's very close to the Strip in Gatlinburg, and whenever you rent with these guys, free parking in downtown Gatlinburg. Have I wet your whistle enough? ParksideCabinRentals.com to learn more. All right, let's welcome in from 99.1 The Sports Animal, Mr. Josh Ward. Josh, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Sean.
All right, and congratulations on your Raiders stealing my offensive coordinator from the Patriots, as that looks like that's what's going to happen.
12 months from now, I'll probably be trying to give him back.
Tennessee had won 3 in a row and 4 of 5 entering last night's game. But with the loss, the focus goes to another stat. This team is just 3-6 away from Thompson-Boling Arena this year. Chuck, you alluded to that earlier. I said last Sunday that I wasn't buying the little uptick in play because it's just kind of this roller coaster thing, and I stick to that. I do buy the fact, however, that this team just is always poor. This team doesn't play very well on the road. The one road game they played well this year was at Alabama when you played without Chandler and without Fulkerson, of all things. You still lost that one, but they're terrible night in, night out against offensively, the one exception being another game they lost at Kentucky when they were hitting lights out and they still lost. I just don't see a big fix coming for that reason. That said, and because Isaiah is here to my right, we're going to take a look at the last 10 games, and I want you guys to project, and Josh, I'll start with you. What are we looking at for this team's final record? They're 14-6 now. What's their record going to be as we hit the SEC tournament in about 5 weeks? So you got Texas A&M this week, and what you got listed here, it's obviously on the left, is the team you'll be playing. In the center, that's their NCAA net ranking going into yesterday, and then you have their updated records beside that. So Texas A&M, a 15-6 ball team, 52 in the net ranking. Then you got at South Carolina, 107th in the net ranking. What do we think they're going to do this week? Josh, when you look at this team, we don't have to even do it week by week. Let's just look at it overall. Where are your wins?
Well,
who do you feel are pure, sure wins in this?
Yeah. The first thing I'm going to do is just look at home schedule. And I'm going to feel pretty good, but you have Kentucky and Auburn, class of the SEC, and I know historically how Tennessee's done against Kentucky. It's easy to look at the game from a few weeks ago. Yeah. I don't like Tennessee's chances at all at home against Auburn. I'd do more so against Kentucky if they bounce back and can still play well offensively. They can figure things out at home. Missouri on the road, South Carolina on the road, those are games I think you just need to get with where those teams are. So if I were to break it down, I'd probably average it out to be about 6-4 in the final 10-game stretch.
I'm going to go with Chuck down there. You go next. Then we'll bring him back up here to the basketball guys. We'll give Isaiah the last shot at it so he can be Mr.
I mean, I always kind of look at it, which game should you be favored to win?
There we go. I knew what. Yeah, we know how you look at it.
Yeah, so, I mean, Texas A&M, Tuesday night, you should be favored. At South Carolina, Frank Martin, you never know what you're going to get with them. They can play pretty good or not so good. At Miss State, could be a tough game. Vanderbilt is playing better. You should beat them. Kentucky here, I feel like Tennessee has something that they can handle. I believe they can handle Kentucky here. I really do. But then you go on to look at Arkansas, Missouri. I mean, I could see it being closer to 5-5. I really could.
Okay, I thought you were going in the other direction. All right, 5-5. Is that that's your official Chuck Cavalier's prediction?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the basketball coach and the basketball coach and player and basketball player. All right, coach and player. Mark, where are you going with this?
Well, what I look at is, obviously our defense has been really, really strong, and you got a lot of teams up there that offensively are really, really strong, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on our defense. You look at, Texas Tech, you look at Texas, you look at some of our losses have been against really good defensive teams. And so now if you got some teams up there that can score with us, or that's their main thing, leads me to be – I'm more if 5-5, 6-4 is right where I'm at. I don't think you talk about Georgia, being at Georgia is one that you can win on the road. But I'm leaning more toward that 6-4, 6-4, 5-5, with that Arkansas home game being kind of the swinger for me.
Right.
Because Arkansas is really good. You got them at your place. Arkansas could be fighting for some seeding. That's going to be the big game that I think will swing it to either 6-4 or 5-5.
Yeah, I'm with these guys. I didn't come off this last week. I just think it's going to be up and down roller coaster. This is a 50-50 kind of team in my view. Isaiah, I'll let you close out. Are you going to be Mr. Positive? Do you think they're going to be better than 5-5 or 6-4?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I don't see a team on there that's unbeatable for one. Do you?
Auburn.
Unbeatable.
Well,
How many? Okay,
not
well,
unbeatable.
Unbeatable.
we'll flip
Okay.
it. How many
Yeah.
teams on there can't beat Tennessee? Well, you can look at it the other way too.
Yeah. Well,
are
I'll tell you my
unlosable.
prediction. I'll tell you my prediction. My gut wants to say 8-2.
Wow.
But just for the sake of having a letdown, I'll say 7-3.
okay, stop by the casino after the show.
Well, y'all told me that one year, and I want to pull up the footage, Chuck. Y'all laughed at my predictions. And I think it was the Conzo Martin year they snuck in it.
That's right. It was,
Yeah.
they almost made
And
the
I
Elite
was
Eight,
spot
yeah.
on, and y'all laughed at me. So
I'm
hopefully it's
hoping
the
he's
same.
right, man.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, I wasn't laughing at you, my man, bro. You're my brother.
I just wanted to remind you about that, though, mainly.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about Tennessee's roster. Is it built for, we started the season saying, well, you want to compete for the SEC title. That's out. At least as of now, it looks like that's out. And you also want to make a run at a Sweet 16. Is that still a reasonable goal? Does this team have, there are certain things that you need typically to make a run in the tournament. When people are filling out their brackets, it's like, oh, good defense, good guard play, good rebounding. Does this team have the pieces to even make a good run tournament time? We'll discuss that next. Come on back.